Doing good, can't complain. Oh yeah, you got to come to the gym. In the locker room, I'm always nervous, but it's like controlled nervous. It's not like I'm just now starting out and I'm about to get in the ring and fight. Like I know what I'm capable of, so I'm nervous because I care about the fight so much. But once I get in the ring and the bell ring, all the nerves go away. Just negotiations.
Okay.
He was trying to get the most money he could. My side was trying to keep as much money as we could. Yeah, it was a tug of war. It was an ongoing tug of war. I definitely thought about it. That's why I pushed for this fight so hard. And I feel like this is a beyond legacy fight. This just like Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad. Like it's one of those fights. It's a pick 'em fight for some people. It's an awesome fight. I feel like this is the biggest fight of the decade. Like this is like Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler type fight right here. Tell you the truth, I thought about quitting like numerous of times. A lot of times I thought about just giving up because everything was hurting. My hips, my neck, everything was hurt because I landed on solid concrete, going 70, 80 miles per hour, landing on solid concrete. That was nothing but God that saved me from the accident. But oh yeah, I definitely thought, in some instances that my career was over. But I feel like I just got that type of determination and willpower and just will myself on. I was just willing myself on to be successful and get back to where I once was. That was the hardest part of my career, I feel like, because I did it without any physical therapy at all. I did it myself.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, what you just heard was the voice of undefeated, unified, three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has 28 wins, no losses, no draw. 22 big wins by way of knockout. 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He's going into the biggest, most highly anticipated fight of not only his career, but in the sport of boxing in the last 40 years, as he's set to take on undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford has a record of 39 wins, no losses, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. They are going to square off July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, in the biggest fight in boxing in the last 40 years, okay? With that said, obviously, both guys are going to be doing tours. Both guys are going to be doing press tours. They're going to be promoting the fight. They're going to be doing plenty in different interviews. And in this case, they did an interview with Shaquille O'Neal, Errol Spence did, and Errol Spence, he stated shockingly, or should we say not shockingly, that he had plans to retire after he suffered that horrific car accident just a few weeks after unifying the belts. September of 2019, he unified the belts against two-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, now retired future Hall of Famer in Showtime Shawn Porter. And in October of 2019, he suffered a horrific car accident that the video showed his white Ferrari flipping down the street multiple times, him being thrown from the Ferrari and landing on hard concrete, as he stated. And he said that everything was hurting, okay? His entire body was hurting, and he contemplated retirement, right? He thought his career was over. Many people thought that Errol Spence's career might be over just hearing about the injuries that he suffered. Okay, like he said, his legs was hurting, his hips was hurting. He lost all his teeth. He broke bones. His face was swollen. He landed on hard concrete, right? And so he thought that his career was over, just like many people who saw the car flipping down the street. And Shaquille O'Neal even stated he thought that Errol Spence's career was over, said that, he was completely scared for Errol Spence Jr., right? And then Errol Spence, he goes on to say, and nobody can blame Errol Spence. And that doesn't come as a shock that Errol Spence was contemplating retirement after suffering that horrific car accident. It's a miracle that he's here today to have the biggest fight in boxing in July. Okay. He's had 2 fights since that accident took place and that occurred. That was December 5th of 2020 when he took on 2 division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia. That was 14 months after suffering a horrific car accident. And then he came back. He was out a year because then he had a detached on the broken retina that saw him removed from a massive fight that he was going to have with legendary 8 division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, August of 2021. But he suffered a detached retina that has saw him out the ring, removed from the fight. Yordenis Ugas, Cuban WBA welterweight star boxer, replaced Errol Spence, and he dominated Manny Pacquiao. And Errol Spence sat on the shelf for another year. He came back April 16th, Arlington, Texas. AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium unified the belts against Yordenis Ugas, who beat Manny Pacquiao in his place. He broke Yordenis Ugas' ribs, nose, and orbital bone en route to unifying the belts and becoming a 3-belt welterweight world champion. So just to see where he's come from that car accident to where he's at today is a miracle, to say the least. Okay. And even when people say that he's not the same fighter, well, I'm hard pressed to see the same fighter as well if you went through such things. But the fact that he's back to the top of his game, he may even be better. Right? Depends on how you look at the situation. So with that said, Errol Spence stated that he was going to retire. And then he goes on to say that the only reason that this fight happened between himself and Terrence Bud Crawford is because they FaceTime each other and they started talking to one another more frequently, and they got the fight over the hump. He stated that Terrence Crawford was looking to get as much money out the situation as possible. And at the same time, his side and his team was looking to keep as much money as possible. So they didn't want to shell it out. And Terrence Crawford wanted to take it out their pockets. And they couldn't come to a agreement. And so the fight just simply did not take place. But that's not shocking because we knew that the fight got to a point where it was being rumored to be going to take place without a guaranteed purse for the biggest fight in boxing, with no guaranteed money up front. That's unheard of, okay? Regardless of what you hear people say in the media, in interviews, to have a fight of this caliber, of this magnitude, today's time, okay? Not even yesteryear, but even today's time, with no guaranteed purse is completely unheard of, right? With all the money that's circling in the sport of boxing today's time compared to what they was making yesteryear, it's unheard of. So nonetheless, the fight got stalled out. And so he stated he wasn't scared, nor Terrence Crawford wasn't scared. It was just simply business. It was a seesaw struggle. It was a tug of war that they eventually got over the hump because they eventually FaceTime each other a few times and they got the deal done, right? And so that's great news, right? Nonetheless, it doesn't even matter who you think held up the fight or didn't hold up the fight, because July 29th, we're going to get the biggest fight in boxing in 40 years, as I keep continuing to say. It's been 40 years since we had a fight of this magnitude. Like Errol Spence stated, September 16th, 1981, when we had Sugar Ray Leonard face off against Thomas the Hitman Hearns for undisputed in the 2-belt era, that's the last time we had a fight of this magnitude. Now, we did have, like Errol Spence said, we had Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, but again, that's because people deem Manny Pacquiao as the man to fight, and he put a blemish on Floyd Mayweather's resume. And most people understood that that wasn't going to happen. He did have a chance. He's a legend. But for the most part, the blueprint was out on how to beat Manny Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather is the master at making adjustments. Nonetheless, this is truly a 50-50 fight. And it's just a blessing that Errol Spence is even in this position today's time to be able to feed his family, to be able to play with his kids, and to be able to have built his own legacy, his own career, and the biggest fight. This is going to be a historic fight, a historic night, a historic event. It's going to be unforgettable. Their styles are going to clash. Their styles make for must-watch TV. Their styles make for 90% of this fight is a 90% chance it will completely live up to the billing. I don't see any scenario which it don't live up to the billing, point blank and period. But I'm just glad that Errol Spence didn't retire. He got healthy, and we're getting the biggest fight of this generation and in 40 years. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Let me know. Peace.
This is Amanda, the real deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.